Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the 2018 District Couple of the Year selection. First off, we want to bring in our couple and our individual of the year and have their directors introduce them.
Hello, everybody.
Here we go.
Hello, hello. There we go. Okay, can you fix my voice for me? Okay. Yeah, there, that's a little better. Hi, I'm John Carl, and of course my wife Diane from Chapter E. We'd like to welcome you here tonight, and we'd like to introduce our couple of the year. We go from June to June, so it's actually last June to this coming June. Dennis and Gail Jiza, also our ACDs.
Yeah, sure. Make it short, thank you. If you don't know me, I'm Louis Shippers out of Chapter J, also Michigan Individual of the Year, and the last Region D Individual of the Year. I'm proud to introduce our Chapter J out of Jackson, Michigan Individual of the Year, Gordon Rudolph.
You two get center stage, do your turns, and then you'll have your 5 minutes. Okay, Sandy here is your timekeeper. She's going to let you know when your time's up. She has a 1-minute sign and a 30-second sign.
Is that the one that doesn't work?
Oh, that's the one that doesn't work.
Hi, everybody. Most of you know us, but a little bit about ourselves. We met when I was 16 and Dennis was 20, roller skating. Dennis did semi-pro on skates, and I did sidewalk skates. We didn't skate very well together. I was there with my cousin that night. Dennis didn't have any top teeth, and my cousin says, "You're going out with him? He doesn't have any teeth." Here we are, 52 years later. It worked. We have 4 children, 13 grandchildren, 6 greats so far. And we joined GW in February of 1986.
She said it's my turn. Okay, we've,
Hold the mic up some.
does it work now?
I told you, he's got the one that doesn't work.
I have a red light on it, what is that? Green button.
Still red?
That work now?
No, it's still red.
Give me that one.
Give him that one.
Here, go ahead and fix that one. That's better, now I can hear it. Yeah, we've been 32 years with Chapter E. I guess I started riding motorcycles when I was 14 and been riding them ever since. Started out with a Cushman Eagle. Got a big Harley, 80 cubic inch, AJS, single, number of different bikes, Gull Wings, and we've traveled all over the United States. numerous different places. I've got over 900,000, well, close to 900,000 miles on the bikes, and Gail's got about 450,000 behind me, sitting with me. And I got to put up with her, too.
Thanks a lot. The reason I have 450,000 on the back is because I had 4 kids to raise while he was off gallivanting. Yeah, I was a motorcycle widow instead of a football widow. But we've enjoyed our time in Chapter E. We said we wouldn't be around this long if we hadn't. When Dennis went to Chapter E the first few times, I thought, I'm not going there. Not with all those bikers, no way, not me, I'm hiding. Well, that changed.
She was Mrs. Bashful.
Mrs. Bashful, he says. So we were in about a year when our then AR was in need of a treasurer. And I told Dennis, I said, I could do that. I think I can. He said, sure, go ahead. So I held that position for 18 years. And then went to the assistant chapter director and then chapter director. From there we went to district staff for a few years. Then back to chapter, and I'm the assistant again. So I've been on staff pretty much 31 of the 32 years we've been here.
And I was goodies person for a while, and writer educator. And I believe it was 06, I got a merit award for writer educator of the region. And on staff, state staff, for I think it's been about 5 years, 5 or 6. And 30 minutes left?
Yeah, we gotta fill time on you.
Needless to say, we've got lots of stories to share and have shared with a lot of you, but we want to thank Chapter E for honoring us with this tonight and for all of you for listening to our stories. Thank you.
Okay, we have a question for you. You both have to answer. What do you feel are some advantages in speaking to non-GWRRA organizations? It works.
Okay. To talk to non-members, explain the goal book to them and how we're a family-oriented organization, and some of the places we've been, friends we've had and have.
Dennis and I both work at the Brandon School District, and they're always very interested to hear about our stories and have lots of questions about the bikes and what we do and how we ride. So we explain that to them constantly. They said we were crazy coming up here in the snow last night, but we do crazy things. But just in talking to anybody we see, by wearing our vests and that when we go out, people will come up and ask us what it is, and we explain them about the GWRRA and about the bikes and riding and where we go and what we do and what we stand for. So that's how we share.
Do you have center stage before the point starts? Sandy, there's your timekeeper. You have up to 5 minutes. She'll let you know when you have a minute, and then 30 seconds left.
Hello, everybody. My name is Gordon Rudolph, and I am from Chapter J, Jackson, Michigan. I was born and raised in Jackson, Michigan. I'll accept I lived there all my life except for the 4 years that I was a Vietnam veteran in the Navy. And I was in there for 4 years. Before I went to the Navy, I graduated from high school in '67 from Battle Creek Central High School. Before that, when I first learned how to ride motorcycles, I lived a half a semester in Cassopolis, Michigan, which is down just past Three Rivers. One of the kids in the neighborhood had a Honda Trail 90. That was the first bike I ever rode in my life, and it almost was my last. We were up at the Cassopolis Fairgrounds, and he says, "You want to learn how to ride this bike?" I said, "Well, yeah." And he said, "Okay." So I get on the bike, and he said, "Now give it a little gas and let out the clutch." Well, when I give it the gas, I let out the clutch, the bike went up in the air, and I'm dragging behind it, hanging on the plank, and he's back there saying, hit the brake, let off the gas." And I'm back there flopping like a rag in a breeze, and all I could see is this big maintenance shed coming right at me. And I thought, oh, here we go, I'm gonna go right through it just like they do on TV, you know. But there so happens there happened to be a drainage manhole cover right there, and I hit that manhole cover and it popped the bike back up, and I sat down on the bike and turned around and come back. He said, "No, I thought you were going through the shed." I said, "I had it under control." He told me, "No problem." So that was my first experience on a motorcycle, and I've been riding when I got the chance. When I got out of the Navy, then I went into the Michigan National Guard for 17 years. I was a mechanic there. Worked on deuce and a half, 5-ton trucks, and drove them. After that, I had bought my first Suzuki 550. And then I met my wife. I worked at the East Jackson Schools as custodian road bus. That's where we met. And we started riding bikes after that. My next bike was 1100 Suzuki GK touring bike. And then from that we went to our 97 Goldwing, which I will never go back to another bike. So it's just like riding a Cadillac. So that's a little bit of history on me. I don't know much more what to say, except I'm really honored that my chapter picked me for Individual of the Year to do this, and I want to thank them very much.
Thank you. Can I have basically the same question? What do you feel are some advantages in speaking to non-GWRRA organizations?
Well, I think there's a learning curve there because my stepbrother and my stepsister and all their friends ride Harleys, and we ride with them once in a while, and I'm constantly talking to them about safety and having fun and just being careful, and I think it's a good thing to do. I tell them that we have fun, we learn a lot. I have learned more since I joined Chapter J and GWRRA than I ever knew. I thought I knew a lot about bikes until I started going to a lot of these seminars and safety classes. And I think it's worthwhile to spread the word that non-organizations should learn more about what we do.
Thank you. Can Dennis and Neil come back up? No, Gordon, just stand up here. Now you're really in trouble. Well, seeing that we're the outgoing couple, I'd like to introduce our 2018 Individual and Couple of the Year. And step over here, and Dennis, here's your name badge. Gail. his new medallion? Yes, it does. Oh, we could have, well, we can change that.
Somebody's laughing. And the rockers.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you very much. You did well. Well done. Well done.
And when they show up at one of your functions, let's make them feel welcome. Again, congratulations.